Hey guys, welcome back to the show dedicated and committed to your mental health. My name is Ryan. So, when is the last time you had to measure something? Whether to build something around the house, or your waist as you've been sticking to your diet, or the distance to the nearest In-N-Out? Well, with those we have tangible tools to measure in a concrete metric. So, how do we go about measuring our thoughts to see if anxiety really does have a hold on our everyday thinking? Are we anxious more than we are happy? Let's find out. This is Stepping into Anxiety. Welcome to Stepping into Anxiety, where we move towards those uncomfortable thoughts and feelings rather than avoiding them. The purpose of this content is to help empower your journey with anxiety and to better understand the inner workings of your thoughts. If you're enjoying the content, please subscribe below.
You have to ask me nicely.
Okay, Jack, pretty please. Let's just say one click goes a long ways. Also, follow us on Instagram at Stepping Into Anxiety for daily support and inspiration. With that, let's get into it. Metrics. We all feel the need to be able to measure something in order to decide whether it's good or bad. Think back to growing up. Your test scores in school were based on metrics that told you whether or not you did good, all right, or atrociously bad on an exam. When you get older, you have credit scores to measure your ability to pay back lent money. There's your age, which measures your number of years on this earth. The list goes on and on. So, how do we measure something so abstract as thoughts? Attention. How much attention you give your anxious thoughts, and how much they impede on the daily functioning of your life. And remember, our working definition of anxiety is the ultimate reaction to imagined fears and perceived threats towards an initial thought. So, how much of your thinking is comprised by imagining fear or perceiving a threat? Real fast. This is not an episode on diagnosis. Neither you or myself are doing any diagnosing right now. For that, you need to go see a licensed professional to get that done. This is just a conversation.
Your move, Chief.
Alright, so the amount of attention you give anxious thoughts throughout the day give you a measurement of the internal functioning of your mind. Are you on overload with worried thoughts, or are you stressed about a big meeting coming up? It is important to highlight that stress is one specific locus of attention, such as a test or presentation, while anxiety encompasses a wide variety of things that do or do not have the possibility of even happening. But back to measuring our thoughts. It can feel difficult to recognize how much attention we give to our anxious thinking because we do it with such ease. If you're not distracting yourself with Instagram,
You talking to me?
there's a good chance you're imagining something bad happening as opposed to something great happening in your life. Remember, certain parts of your brain are designed to keep us safe and protect us. Thanks, amygdala. The attention of our thoughts is based on how we perceive and imagine threats and fears in the present and future. Well, mainly future. And why do we imagine the future so much? A recent study by Daniel Gilbert showed that people are engaged in mind wandering about half of the time, or 49% of the time. Mind wandering is just another fancy way of saying daydreaming. And when we are mind wandering, we are imagining future events occurring. And if you have a more sensitive amygdala that relates feelings to thoughts, then we have thoughts that are heavily anxious and fearful. So if we spend so much time mind wandering, what is the tangible takeaway from this? What do we do? Well, one way is to do something that requires your attention besides social media. This can be anything from a hobby, book, activity. But say you don't have the time because you're so busy. Well then, practice training your brain to identify when you begin to imagine and wander fearful and anxious thoughts. It's gonna take practice, and practice acceptance. Take those thoughts and recognize them for what they are, and if they are irrational, then accept them. Take a deep breath and release them. If they are rational, then take the time to flip the anxious thought on its head by imagining the situation going well, not poorly. This takes much practice, and we'll get into it down the road. Get out of your anxious mind and actively imagine your anxious thought going well.
Whoa! Wow! Does it feel good to be out of there?
We can measure the severity of our anxiety by how much attention we give to our fearful or worrisome thoughts. Start by giving yourself grace and allowing yourself to feel your normal thoughts. And then become actively aware of the nature of your everyday daydreaming direction of thoughts. Are they positive or are they negative? Then we can take the next step from there. Hey, you got this. You just took one more step into your anxiety. Thank you so much for watching, you guys, and take care.